Hey there, what's up, you guys? We are back with another amazing episode on Living Real TV. I'm Karissa Adkins.
And I'm Clara Capano.
And we are here to help you boss up to the next level of awesomeness and, of course, find clarity in your life. So, Clara, Mother's Day episode. Can you believe it? We've made it.
I know. I am so excited for this. And when we were putting our lineup together, you know, talking about women, talking about being real, we knew that we had to put something out there to honor all the mothers out there so that we can really just give some special appreciation to some of those ladies that have helped us step into the women that we have become.
Yes, 100%. They've all paved the way for us to kind of step up and be our best selves. So as you guys can see, we have amazing guests today. We have the amazing Stefanie Mendoza, local entrepreneur. We have Tia Carlson with us in the house, another awesome entrepreneur. And you know what? These women are leading the way too. They're pretty powerful and pretty spectacular. And that's why we have literally handpicked them for this episode. So excited to dive in. But before we start talking about moms and lessons and all kinds of amazing mentors in our life, Dion, what you got for us today?
Hi, ladies. I am so excited to be a part of this Mother's Day episode. The cocktail I have for you today is actually called From the Heart. Because, you know, when moms do things, they always do it from the heart. You never have to worry about what the intentions are. And so we're going to start out with a little bit of lemon juice. Voila.
That is so true.
And I love these little glasses. Look at the little hearts that he has on there.
A little passion fruit and honey.
He's got passion in his women, for sure.
And then a little passion fruit tea.
Ooh.
So, you know, one of the things my mother never really approved of me drinking. So every now and then I like to make a mocktail to pay homage. And, you
It's
know.
almost like a mom tale, right? A mom tale.
Mom, I'm doing a good job. And last but not least, we have Free Spirit. It is a alcohol-free gin.
Okay.
You get this at most grocery stores.
How does that even exist?
I can get on board with that.
It's magic. And of course, we're going to shake. And I think today it's Shake Senora. So I'm going to do a little different shake. Shake, shake, shake.
Dion has told us that the magic of a cocktail is in the shake. So now every bar you go to, you will notice the shake, I'm sure.
I will be paying attention.
I'm sure.
Now inside the glass, we already have some sparkling water. I use San Pellegrino. And we have our candied hearts.
Yum. And Clara, where can they find these recipes again?
They can find these recipes on our website, which is livingrealtv.com.
Yes, ma'am. Well, and we even have all the season 1s posted. Like, we had some great cocktails in season 1.
We had some amazing cocktails.
Yeah. Yes, but I have something tells me that Dion has probably spiced up and bossed up himself a little bit with these cocktails. I know.
You know, I spent some time in Vegas in our off season, and I learned a lot out there. You'd be
Doing some
surprised.
research.
Yeah, research, exactly.
Absolutely.
And here we have it, ladies. These are from my heart to yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, ladies, cheers to us and cheers to all you moms out there. Happy Mother's Day.
Let's try. I think I gotta take this thing out. Oh, it's stuck again.
Ooh, I like this.
That's nice. Delicious.
It is.
Kind of like a mimosa
Yeah.
a little bit.
I'm thinking brunch.
This is a perfect brunch cocktail.
Yeah.
Love
Mocktail.
that. Mocktail.
Yeah, and I love that because, you know, as the drinks were coming over to us, we made the comment that, you know, this is a mocktail. And I love this aspect because I think as, you know, busy moms and stressful situations come up, one of the things we always reach to is the wine, the alcohol. And I'm not saying we can't do that from time to time, but isn't it nice to have a little alternative?
It is.
You know? Yeah. So I think this is great.
The hardest part with not wanting to drink is feeling like you're going to miss out on an experience.
Right.
You know, along with the stress reliever at the end of the night. Trust me, I know there are plenty of nights that we probably want to just say, okay, now I can relax finally, right? My kids drove me nuts all day and work was crazy. So there is that point, but I love the fact that if you've ever tried to stop drinking, right, and you feel like you're missing out on an experience.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I quit smoking, and I all of a sudden was like, ladies, I'm not gonna be able to come and chit chat with you, and I missed that. I was like, I feel like I'm missing out on like the awesome conversations with you moms. So. So great choice. Great choice, Theon. Thank you.
Very nice.
Amazing.
So as we always have a question of the day. And as we were talking about Mother's Day and what it means to be a mom, I think a great question is to bring up and say, what is your biggest strategy for managing stress? Because we all know that even though there's many points of joy and excitement of being a parent, there's a little bit of stress from time to time too. So who wants to start off our conversation? What are some tips we do for managing stress?
My strategy is silence. TV's off, radio's off, kids are in their rooms, just take a breather, kind of just breathe. Breathing exercises is probably
So do you send the kids
Yeah,
out?
that's what I was going to ask.
I send the kids to their rooms.
Okay.
I no electronics, just to get that little piece. Rewind. Okay, come on out, guys.
It's a timeout for everyone.
It is. It really is.
And it's not a punishment.
No,
Right.
yes.
Which is hard for them to understand sometimes.
Yes.
But I'm just like, Mommy needs a timeout. And I'm right there with you. Like, I need it quiet. I need a moment to just
Yes.
breathe.
Yes.
Take a pause.
Breathe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite breathing techniques is the 5-5-7.
Yeah?
And I've been
Tell me
teaching
about
that to
that.
them. So it's just, breathe in your nose for the count of 5, hold it for 5, and release for 7. And it's, I'm tricking my body into, realizing I'm not being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. You might think that I am.
Yes.
And I think being able to teach my kids that, they're going through hard times. They've got their own anxiety. They've been stuck in masks all day at school. They've not seen facial expressions. Life is weird for them right now,
Yeah.
And it's been fun. Every time we've been in the car, actually, since I learned that, I've been, okay, guys, let's do it. Let's do our 5-5-7. And everyone's on board. And
It's great
and
that you
we've
get
got-
them involved in it.
Yes.
How many times do
Yeah.
you cycle through? Is there like a magic trick for you before
I'm
you
aiming for 10. I
Okay.
think it's cute because we also have the best talk time in the car.
Oh,
It's
no
there's
kidding.
some-
It's
yep.
wonderful.
There is something about they just open up, and I think it's their eyes are forward, or I'm not right there in their face.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not like pressure to have a conversation with me, and especially my 14-year-old. I'm like, I can't get that kid to talk to me at all over anything.
No
Well, I mean,
distractions
except
and
gaming. He might give me all sorts of information on the latest gaming thing.
But yeah, those car
when we're in the-
conversations are magic.
Yeah.
I
So
love
I don't
those.
know that we've made it to 10.
Okay.
The count of 10
Full
in the
time
car
cycles
quite yet. I do plenty, but
love it.
especially on the way here.
But if you even think about it, cycling through, that's a minute, 2 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be able to calm you and get you centered, I think that's a really great exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's tricking her internal nervous system, right?
Yeah.
So we go from stressed out, overwhelmed, to just simply breathing, and it puts us back into that relaxation. And we all know we work better from a relaxed state. I mean, we don't make great choices for food, for sleep, for business when we are acting out in from a place of scarcity. Like,
Right. That fight or flight.
Yeah.
So what do you do
I
to
love
manage
that.
stress?
For me, actually managing stress is really important. I have Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid issue, but I have terrible digestion. So I could eat all the cleanest meals, you guys, and exercise, but if my stress is out the roof, my digestion shuts down, my hair starts falling out, the eczema all over my skin breaks out. Like, my body literally tells me when I'm stressing out, and I listen to it all the time. So it's big, 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 big. So probably the biggest tip that I do, besides breathing, because I'm a big believer in that, slowing everything down, is becoming aware of when you are stressed. So many women are too damn busy to not even realize that they have just they've walked off the deep end, and now they're like, they can't get out of that stressful state. So recognizing that, okay, when I tend to feel stressed, I tend to want to dive into work more, because it's like the only part of my life that I feel sometimes I have control over. So I isolate, and then I want to just feel like I got to keep crowding my plate. So just knowing my body and knowing what I do, I'm very aware of when I'm stressed. Now it's time to sit back. And sometimes it's like, I got to let go of anything that I had to do today. Yes. I've just got to do me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
What about you?
Yeah.
Definitely I love to recharge myself by a good nap. I love to sleep. I love to take naps. But I would also say I love to laugh. So for me, a big de-stressor is I love to listen to comedy. So I'll just go on to, Netflix and find some of my favorite comedians and just listen to them, even for just 5 minutes. It just shifts my energy and gets me into a better state.
Remember season 1?
We had our comedian.
Oh my gosh. Like, if you guys missed that episode, go back and watch it. You can watch
Heather
it on
was amazing.
Yes. Watch it on motivationandsuccesstv.com or livingrealofcourse.com. But yeah, we brought on a comedian, and she sat here and did stand up. Mom of what, 6?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
right?
that's
You're
not the
crazy
joke.
too. You got a lot of kids too. How do you manage them all?
One at a time.
Which is hard when they all need you at the same time.
It is.
How many children do you have?
I have 4 kids.
Okay.
But I have like a buddy system. So 2 of them buddy up, 2 of them buddy up. So I'm like, grab your buddy, go do something.
Love it.
Mom will be there in a minute.
That's a great strategy.
It is a great strategy.
It helps for us.
Yeah. And if you have one, I would probably assume you would just say, hey, Carla, bring your kid over. My kid needs a play date, right?
Yeah.
I need space.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodness, that's a great strategy.
Well, let's talk mom. Let's talk being moms and some of the things that, we've learned from all of our mothers, And what I love to do is when we talk about moms, I want to talk about mother figures because not everybody has their biological mother, with them. They were raised maybe by an aunt, a grandparent, whoever it may be. But I would love to just open it up. I know for me, I am so grateful my mother still is alive. She's 81 years old, and I still learn from her each and every day. But let's open up the discussion. Let's start with you. What were some of the lessons maybe you learned from your mom?
Well, my mom is actually legally blind.
Oh, wow.
So she did not work outside of the home, but she opened up her home as a caretaker. She ran a daycare in our home.
Oh my gosh.
She actually started, I think her first child was my cousin, who was a year before I was even born. And so she started, and I'm the oldest of her kids. And for years, watched other people's kids so that she could, provide for us with, along with my dad. They sacrificed so much. They put us all through private schools.
Wow.
I mean, sometimes I look back and I'm like, how did my parents do this? How did they afford this? But so she wasn't just raising us. She was the mom to a lot of kids. The coolest thing was, as we all grew up, all of a sudden she was watching the kids of kids that she had watched. I mean, it wasn't just her grandbabies that she was watching, but the children of other people that she had watched. I remember being, from a very young age, very jealous when other kids would call her mom.
Yeah.
Like I turned into a little
my
brat.
mom.
I'm like, she's my mom. And you'd think by maybe age 10, 11, you kind of grow out of that. Oh no, even 16, I was still like, she's my mom. She's still my mom. But it was funny because then as she, and then I have children and she's watching my children, and all of a sudden I hear other kids calling her grandma. Now instead of mom, they're calling her grandma. I'm like, they're just calling her what they're hearing the majority of the kids calling her. I have no reason to be jealous, but
That's funny.
But yeah, she just worked hard for all of us, and I think one of the things that I learned the most was that we sacrifice for our children and for our families and for taking care of them. But also, I learned that I think it's important to go a step further, and I can't put myself on the back burner like my mom always did. And I appreciate that she did that.
Yes.
But I have to take care of me. And so I need to find that balance of taking care of me and not fully giving myself up and my dreams up.
So important.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And it's, I feel like it's a constant search.
And I think that was, it was more expected, I think, with our parents' generation that they did put themselves on the back burner. And I love the fact that, that's one thing we talk about a lot on the show is the idea that I think today's woman, today's mom is understanding the importance of taking care of herself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the reason why it doesn't work is because everything has changed from 20, 40, 60 years ago, right? Right. Moms' jobs back then were different. And we're still trying to fit in that mold along with the new mold of working women, right? And following our hearts and realizing it's okay to write a book and have a dream and run a business. What? So the concept of trying to do it all is not working, and then we feel like crap because we're just modeling what our mamas did or what their moms did. Yeah. Stefanie, what about you?
My mom was kind of that same mom. My mom was just an angel. She was growing up when we were growing up pretty much. She was starting her career. She was working. She was going to school. She took care of all the neighborhood kids too. So yes, everybody would call her mom. She really instilled in us, it's okay to fail. It's about how you pick yourself back up and move on.
Where do you think she got that from?
Maybe my grandmother. Maybe she, like I said, she was growing up along with us, so she was learning as she was teaching us. But that it was okay to fail, but it's about how you picked yourself back up and moved on. Take responsibility. She was amazing.
Yeah.
So important.
Being an entrepreneur, how do you then use that lesson, right? Okay, it's okay to fail. We just have to pick ourselves up. How do you apply that in your business now?
Kind of like a trial and error. If it doesn't work, okay, it didn't work. Doesn't mean I'm at rock bottom again. It means I move forward and I try something different. So
yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Because it's all, they talk about, right? It's how you come out of it, right? How you treat the client that just yelled at you. You know what I mean? It's how you show yourself after the not so great time in business where you're like, dang, I just want to give it back to you, but I'm going to take the high road and I'm going to take that lesson from mom. It's okay. I didn't die. I'm going to keep going.
Well, I think it's interesting about running a business how much it becomes an extension of your family. I mean, it in itself is a family. With our employees, we might jump in this is how we're going to do things. This is we're going to try this process or this this is how our bonus system is going to work or whatever it may be. And then time goes on and you're like, okay, guys, we're going to revamp that. Okay, so we tried it. Not working the way we envisioned, and it's the same thing at home with the kids. I'm like, okay, this is our new chore chart. This is okay. That one didn't work. Let's bring that one
next
back
chart. But we're going to get something down.
Yes, there's still stickers. Yes, you can still have stickers on your chart. Stickers. We're going through the potty training sticker chart now. Woo, potty training.
And Tia, how many kids do you have again?
I have 5 actually.
They're all
yes.
I'm good with my one.
Yeah.
And I'm good with 2.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like
easier.
Yeah.
Definitely. It feels funny when I say I have 5 kids because I do have 5 children. But I'm not like that young mama with 5 kids underage, whatever. I like to call them, I have 3 rounds of children. 3 rounds. My oldest is 21. He's almost 22. Then there's a 7-year gap, and then I have 3 kiddos clustered together.
Okay.
And then we have another 7-year gap. Then we have our surprise, Mercy. I like to say, Lord have mercy, we're having another baby.
So that's where the name came.
It's not really where she got her name, but it's
great
fun.
story.
It is a great story. So, I think with their ages spread out, it's not as scary as what 5 kids sounds like.
Yeah.
So,
It helps.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah.
And I think, at one point it's like a team, the more you have.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, you're like, now you guys can entertain each other.
Yes. Little Miss Mercy has a lot of parents in our household.
Claire, what about you?
Oh, so many things that I've learned from my mom. She has just been such an amazing part of my world and throughout different stages. I think one of the biggest things is just the idea of knowing who you are and living on, again, your terms. We've talked about that before, because she grew up and she knew she wanted to be a career woman. You know, she wanted to be a scientist. She grew up in the 40s and the 50s where most women went to college to get their MRS degree and find that husband. And in junior high, she went up to her home economics teacher and was like, I don't need to learn all this because I'm going to be a career woman. I'm just going to hire someone to do all that for me. And when she came home to tell her parents that she had been accepted to the University of Michigan, and her mother was playing bridge with all of her women friends, and they said, oh, but dear, aren't you going to go find a husband? And she's like, oh yes, I'm just going to get the degree to fall back on. So she knew how to talk in a way where it wouldn't ostracize anybody, but she's like, no, damn it, this is what I want to do. And I think just having that message, and so many times where I would sit with her, and the word that my mom always used is tough. And we do TUFF because everything was tough. If we came home and we're like, oh, we don't like what you're making for dinner, tough. There's the refrigerator. Go make something for yourself. Oh, I don't want to go play outside. Tough. You got to get out of the house. We got things going on. And, it was just sort of that, and that really taught us to, pull up our bootstraps and make things happen for ourselves.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, my mama holds a special heart. Not only was she my mom, but my best friend, my business partner at one time, and I feel like this tattoo is for Mom, right? I'm so connected to my mom, and it's crazy to kind of look back because my mom was not around a lot, right? Entrepreneur, always working, literally giving every bit of her life to everyone else, which then I had to step up as the mom role with 4 kids and say, I'll be the one that cooks and cleans and takes care of you guys because Mom's working, right? So total hustler, total boss, and like for a long time I idolized that. I was like, man, and this is where I get my work ethic from, so I don't ever feel bad, that she, hustled, because that's what she taught me, right? There's that grit and there's that grind that we have to go through. But I feel that is also what killed her, right? It's the selflessness of, I'm going to show up for my business, I'm going to create bridal shows for all these brides, and I'm going to, be the mom to everyone else and her employees. But she never, there was not a lot of time that she was a mom for us. I didn't learn a lot of other lessons from Mom besides just work. And when I think about it now, the biggest lesson she taught me was, yes, how to work hard, and yes, how to follow your dreams, because those were her dreams, right? She wanted to build the biggest bridal shows in Nebraska, in the tri-state area, and she won awards for these things. And she taught me how to do all these things when I went into the business side with her, and I just loved it, right? But life throws us a curveball, and she had spent 11 years battling cancer, and when she died, I didn't allow that for me to really slip into a funk. I didn't, I said, we're going to celebrate her because she was a badass. And I'm going to take every lesson that I've learned and implement that, right? And probably the couple of biggest ones was life's short, right? 54, way too young, right? To live 4 kids and the multiple, all the grandchildren that she'll have never met. But I now then, go to those I'm like, your Nana would have loved that. Your Nana would have did this, right? So I still take on that mom role of, I want you to know your Nana, even though your Nana isn't here. But I say she paid that ultimate price because we're all career focused. And I feel that because she lost focus of and taking care of herself, she did not take care of herself. Yeah. And that's why I'm very passionate about helping women take care of themselves. Health, mind, emotional health, physical health. Because when you are unhealthy, right, 320 pounds, obese, cancer, diabetes, it opens up the floodgates to disease, right? COVID would have probably got her at this point multiple times had she still stayed alive. But it's a huge passion because I saw her give, and I saw her work, and I saw her die, right? And now no one will have all those extra memories. So I take it upon myself. It's my mission to help women get strong and get healthy, because without our health, we have nothing, clearly, right? We lose a lot. So cheers to our moms.
I know, they do so many great things, yes. All the moms out there.
So good. I am gonna have to eat this little heart though, because now it's hitting my nose.
I know. And I think that there are so many different, things that we can uncover and pack into. And I think it's important to not only highlight, what we learned from them from the good side, but also bringing up what are some of the things that we watched. And I think, all of us are starting to learn that it's not just about being all or, it's not all or nothing. It's not, you have to be 100% here, but really finding that harmony, between that. And I think sometimes it can be hard to do that because we want to show them and be that role model and teach them to go after their dreams. And at the same time, we want to say, be present with them. And sometimes it's really hard to be able to find that dance and find that harmony between it.
Yes. Yeah. I think when we come back from break, we definitely give some strategies, talk about how we can honor them. And I want to definitely touch on thinking about what our moms did and that probably wasn't so good, because it's in the not so good things that we can really step up our game and learn, right?
Definitely.
Like what didn't work for them, we're going to make it work for us.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
you guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And when we do, you just heard what we're going to talk about, so stay with us.
365 Daily Hustle is a global health coaching company helping purpose-driven women boss up and get healthy so that they can truly show up and thrive in the world. We help women lose weight, gain energy, and feel sexy and confident in their bodies. We help women create sustainable habits that support a positive mindset, nutrition, exercise plans, stress relief, and of course, self-care. If you're tired of feeling like a failure when it comes to your weight loss and health goals, please visit our website at 365dailyhustle.com or join the Healthy Hustle Facebook community today for healthy tips, recipes, workouts, and more.
We are back and we are honoring our mothers for our special Mother's Day episode. And not only is it Clara and I rocking the show today, but we have two great, amazing women. Honestly, we've already been hearing so much about them and their stories. Today we have Tia Carlson with Brush and Roll and Stefanie Mendoza with Modern Painting, two female entrepreneurs, like broken the mold in so many directions. And we've been talking about all the good things that our mamas have taught us and things that we've learned from them. But I do think that we need to talk about, we need to have that discussion about the things that mom probably could have improved upon. We're not going to feel bad about it because we're going to take this as a lesson we're going to learn. So what would be, Stefanie, what would be something that your mom did looking back? And it's really good because you can pinpoint, do we all remember saying, I'm never going to do that, right? Like I was like, I ain't never going to be like my mom. For me, it was my mom's nagging voice. And now my kids are like, you sound like you're nagging at me. And I'm like, oh, you sound like I did 20, 30 years ago. Oh my gosh, I'm picking up my mom's voice. Yeah. Stephanie, what is something that your mom did, obviously with great intentions, that she probably didn't know, but that you're going to learn from and do a little bit better at?
Gosh, that's a hard one. That is a really tough one. I would say just, like you were talking about working and stuff and not being present with us all of the time. I really instill, it is important for me to work, but it's also extremely important for me to be there for my family. They're my number one priority. So I would just say, just being more present, while my children are growing up, but still being able to balance business and family.
Business and family, balancing it out. So what is some things, five, six?
I have four kids.
Four, sorry.
Yes,
four kids. How do you?
more.
Yeah.
Be careful. I said the same thing.
You have no mercy. What are some things that you do, right? Because it's intentional living with your kids then when you're busy and all over the place. So what do you do with each? Do you spend each time with them? Do you do stuff together? How do you stay intentional and present?
So with 4 kids, it's a lot. All of them are in different sports. All of them are doing different things. They're learning different things. They're different ages. They need different attention. Yeah. My thing is I do it together. So just to instill, so I have the time to instill good things in them. Like, okay, guys, this is what we're gonna do. We do it together. I'm big on just being together. I
do you have
like
some fun things
having,
that you love to do together?
I try to get in the kitchen and have everybody help in with house things, with housework, with cooking, with cleaning, with doing just activities. It's funner when you have everybody involved and it's not just me and one other person, It's
not a chore then.
Yes, it's not a chore. It is a lot of fun and it gets everybody involved. No one's fighting. We're all just having a great time.
Love that.
Yes.
Do you have a chore chart? Do you reward them? Or is it just literally?
We've done chore charts. We haven't had very much success.
Okay.
But it's important, I always just say, it's important for you guys to help mom out because then it doesn't stress me out and we can do more things. It's important for you guys to keep things throughout the week so that on the weekend we can have fun.
Yeah.
We're huge on having fun. I love to have fun.
I
don't want no one to be grounded because
work
then
a
I have
little
to
during the
stay in.
week so we can have fun on the weekend.
Yes.
Keep up with don't let your room get so
Yes.
bad. Don't let that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if we all pitch in together, we can all be done sooner so we can all go
Exactly.
play.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teamwork.
Yes.
Teamwork.
Yeah. You mentioned teamwork, so it's an interesting concept, and we can use it even with our own relation, like as a husband-wife, as a husband, kids, mom, kids. But like to embrace the idea of a team, right? No one left behind, right? Like let's do everything as a team is what you're saying, and it
makes
instills
things
something
easier.
Yeah,
It does. And it doesn't make any one person singled out like, I'm always doing this. I always have to do this, you know? And then it leaves that nagging, like, okay, no, I'm not nagging. I'm simply, just asking.
Do it
now.
because mom said so. Tia, what about you? The one thing or a couple things that mom did.
It's funny when you were talking about how with your mom, you'd be like, I am never going to do this. I feel like I was more like that with my dad. But I think my dad and I are very similar.
So, yeah.
I would say I did and probably still do very much idolize my mom. She just seemed perfect to me. Like she was so even-keeled. She was so patient with us. She was so loving. She's such a nurturer. Like she's just amazing. Yeah, so it's hard to like really think. So for me, as I was thinking about it, it kind of went more into almost her as a wife, which of course then trickles very quickly into as a mom, I feel like one thing that, was probably not taught to her was communication. I watched my parents struggle with communication. Like, I mean, I think everyone, whatever,
Yeah, that's a
like,
shared
it's not,
topic. We could have a whole
it's almost that like, I just ignore it, it'll go away, like let's just, I don't want any conflict, let's keep the peace, but keep the peace at what cost?
Right.
And I feel like that's something that unfortunately I am very well aware of the fact that I am working through not being like that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Good for
That's
you.
important.
Yeah.
Because again, looking at those, and again, it's not just what did I learn as mom, but again, what did I learn as a partner in adult relationships, and I think that's a big one.
And it's fun to see, because I feel like self-awareness is huge, and so there's things that I don't want to communicate on, so I'm like, nope, and my throat will be the first thing that tells me, I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about money, I'm like, no, that's scary, or whatever it is. Like, I know if I bought something that I probably should have had, the input of my partner on, I'm like, I don't really want to talk about this. But yet there's other areas that I have no problem, open communication. But I want to ask you a question with Stefanie. Well, that came out weird. I asked Stefanie what she likes to do as far as staying present and intentional with her kid. What do you like to do with your kids? How do you like to
I think right now we're kind of on the hunt for what is the right thing. For years, it was camping. We would go camping. There was something, even though we didn't go far, like we actually, we had a camper and it actually stayed on a plot of land. Like, it made it way easier. I didn't have to pack up every weekend because almost everything was already there. So with I call them my middles, with, those three and then also my oldest, but, we did that for years. I could literally, even though it was a 45-minute drive, there was not that constant like, oh, I should be doing this, or I need to work on this, or I could just step away and be like, I'm present, we're here, it's the weekend, we're gonna have fun.
Enjoy
S'mores,
yourselves.
pool, river, let's go skip rocks,
Yep.
let's go, traipse through the mud, let's, find frogs. It was simple. It got a lot harder when we had Mercy. And then, just little things came into play, and life got so busy with sports, and activities for the kids that it was just harder and harder to get out there. And, now with their ages, it's hard to know what do they want to do? They all have different ideas. We love game night, though. Pull out those board games. It doesn't always end well, I'm not going to lie. There might be some competitive issues we need to work through with our children.
I cried every
or with
time
my
I
husband.
lost that old maid. Like, I would run and cry and never play another game that night. I'm like,
Yeah, you see a lot of sibling rivalry
Yeah.
come out even in the,
Definitely.
you know, with my girls though, we love to dance. We love to, you know, my girls are little dancers.
Turn some
Actually,
music
you know,
on,
even the
dance.
boys love music.
Absolutely.
Impromptu dance party. Let's have some fun, you know. With my oldest, I'm fortunate actually I get to work with him. So not only do I get to just enjoy, you know, his personality in general.
funny.
But
I've met that kid. He is very funny.
He is so funny, and he's just, I don't know, he's such a joy. And watching our employees and our customers, and I mean, for crying out loud, the mailman and the FedEx guy know him by name, and they're like, "What's up, Jaden?" You know, I mean,
where
like,
does he get his awesomeness from?
well, I actually, without any, I get to take credit for this.
Yeah, do
I
it,
mean,
girl,
I
shine.
do, because his biological father, he's never met him. He didn't, you know, didn't want to be a dad. He's like, I'm out. You know, don't do it. You can't do it. Ooh, talk about driving force.
Yeah.
He said, you can't take care
I
of
just heard
yourself.
the
There's
fire
no
in
way.
there.
Oh, fire. Let me tell you. I will be a single mom, and I will buy my own house, and I will go to school, and I will do it all.
Thank
Yeah.
you for
Can't
thank
do
you
it
for
all.
motivating me.
Can't do it all, but I'm going to keep trying. You know, Billy and I actually met when Jaden was 5, and we got married quickly. I wanted more babies.
Yes.
And he did adopt him. So, you know,
Aw, that's beautiful.
so, I mean, Billy has been a huge part. Yeah. Billy instilled amazing work ethic, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been a good dad too.
They need their mamas, they need their daddies, for
But
sure.
come on, I mean,
for sure.
most development happens between 0 and 5, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
I get to take credit.
Exactly.
So
Good for you.
No, he's amazing, and I had an amazing support system. You know, Grandma
always
Grandma
helps.
watched
There you
him
go,
while I
see?
worked. You know, that's the
Another
only
mother
reason I
figure.
stuck around in Omaha.
Yes.
So,
Clara.
yeah.
So I think, you know, it's funny when you were talking about your mom and saying how she was such a nurturer. My parents are complete polar opposites, and they also have role reversals, where my father tended to be more of the nurturing one, and my mother is very pragmatic, very solution-oriented, very much like, just do it this way. And, you know, it would be things such as if I broke up with a boyfriend, my father would be like, are you okay? Do you need something to eat? My mom would be like, you know what? Tough. Go find someone else tomorrow. And, you know, as much as I love that, I think that a lot of my directness, I think, comes like that. I'm a really good mix of both of my parents, but I think I can, when I get into especially work mode, I can just go forward. And I'm very task-oriented, very results-driven.
So you tap into mom on that side.
And I do. And I think sometimes it's remembering I need to add in the empathy that she didn't have. And it's funny, we're working with her now on this. And so a lot of times now when we'll be talking on the phone and, you know, she'll hang up or something abruptly. And I think I was talking with her the other day and I lost the cell signal for a second. And she's like, all right, guess you're gone, bye. Like, and I'm like, what's going on? And then she called back. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Were you done talking? And I'm like, no, I was not done talking. Good job.
I love that she's trying.
She is trying. So I think, you know, just looking at those, but I think that would be something is just remembering that we can get focused on what we need to do and checking off the boxes and, you know, just remembering to sometimes slow down and bring a little empathy into it.
But what do you love to do with just Nicholas?
Oh my God, we have so much fun together. And, you know, I love, he and I travel. And I love those moments since he was a kid, just going to the airport with him and watching him grow. And now I let him sort of lead the way, so I know that if he ever gets stuck in an airport, he's going to know how to take care of himself. And those are, you know, we talked about driving in the car and how those are just some special times. And when we're there and we don't have all the devices, you know, we just talk. And I love having those different experiences with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
Right.
yeah.
My mom, I think with her worst thing was just the constant focus probably on not on her business and stuff like that, which was just her survival. That was her just providing, right? It was super great, positive intention with that. But I think as an adult, I've seen I've had to learn to let go of that hustle. And I remember I was in a coaching session because that's all I have left from her. That's what she taught me, you know? And so I wanted to be like my mom because like I don't, you know, like it was there. And it wasn't until on a coaching session where she literally walked me through, like we can thank our mom for giving us the hustle mentality, but my hustle mentality was going to kill me too. And I then have to accept that if I let go of the hustleness and the grind that I just want to do, that alpha in me, I felt I was going to lose her. Wow. She's the only thing I've left, right? Like is this, oh, my mom would be proud, look at me, right? And everything I do, I think that she's around me, and she's definitely my guardian angel, but I've had to learn to tap into the flow, that loving side, because the mom never showed me a lot of the love. She was the discipliner. Like, I hid in my hamper for 2 hours so that I wouldn't get busted, you know, because I knew when she was home. So like she was the discipliner, and she was the, you know, that I'm going to work hard and I'm going to provide. My dad was the one who took me to all the different things a lot. But yeah, I had to be okay with letting go of the hustle because it wasn't serving me. I was finding myself burnt out, and I became a workaholic, and my kids were no longer, I was just like, yeah, right? Mom will do that in a minute. Mom will do that in a minute. And I was pushing them away instead of, you know, my mom would not want that for me. So that's probably one of her biggest, you know, lessons and bad things too. But
and so what are some of the things you do for quality time with your kids?
So mine are 6 years apart, so yeah, almost 21, almost 15. So the good thing is I always got to have lots of time with Jaden and then lots of time with Sarah. But I read the book 5 Languages of Love, and then I really tapped into, it's probably true for our kids, right? Like they aren't all touchy. They aren't all words of affirmation. And so I took that concept with my kids. I was like, okay, well, what does Jaden want? Like, what is his personality like? And then what is Sarah's? And Sarah's will literally be mom. You know, like she just wants to, I'm like literally on the couch. She's like, hold my hand. And I'm like, right. But then I'm like, stop, because my mom would have been like, no, keep working, right? But every Friday we go and have breakfast. It's our thing. Will's kind of mad when he's like, I'm gonna go breakfast. I'm like, it's our thing. And when Jaden was younger, you know, I had to unfortunately sit and watch Minecraft for like hours. I was like, so painful. How many more butter balls can you find and destroy? Like, I have no idea.
It's a whole new world,
right?
I know.
Oh, goodness. It really is.
Absolutely.
But they're two totally, Jaden would not want me, you know, like he loves his hair tickled, his back tickled, but Sarah, you know, she just wants to hold my hand. She wants that quality time, and she's definitely a words of affirmation. So the extra love note on the napkin for school is like, have a great day. Like those mean the world to her.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I want to talk about Mother's Day gifts.
Okay.
Because I've got some doozers in the past. And I've also got some great ones. So Tia, what would you say if you could pick like the perfect Mother's Day gift that you would really love to have?
So I always feel a little selfish asking for this. Mother's Day. So I love to garden. Okay. I could literally, that is my escape.
Yes.
I could just get lost in the yard and dig in the dirt and rearrange my plants and split them and, you know, trade them with other people and dream up landscape projects that everyone will be like, it's dark out. When are you coming in? So Mother's Day is kind of that magic, like, that's that don't plant your garden until Mother's Day. And so, the last few years I've kind of been like, I love the gifts. I know you always ask what we should do, but like if I could just have a free pass to just be outside, that'd be great. Yeah.
When it's warm.
When it's warm. Yes. Like there's just, so if he could just take the kids for the whole day. I mean, I'd love to see it. Like it feels so weird. It feels selfish.
No, it's good.
But gosh,
it's Mother's Day.
That's what I want to do, and I don't think my massage therapist is open that day. So that is the only other.
You have to have it on Mother's Day. You're like, just give me the gift of the day, right? Like your holidays are totally different, but
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, I love that.
So
Garden.
That would be,
So
and anything they want to give me that, I've told my husband for years, I'm like, I don't need I love cut flowers. They're beautiful. They're great. But I want to plant. you know, just give me a plant because it
longer
lasts
too.
forever.
Yes.
I mean, if you're careful, it lasts forever. So
But not if you give it to me.
I'm like,
maybe
I'll
a
take
cactus.
it.
I'm pretty sure
I
you know,
will kill
these
those
flowers.
too.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
because people over nurture their
Yes.
cactus.
I'm like, oh, you little cute little succulent, and
I
then
know.
Anyway, Steph, what about you?
Oh, Mother's Day. I love the little gifts my kids all make me.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times they end up, you know, in a pile or something like that. I would have to agree. I would want the day to myself. I don't want to have to change diapers, make bottles, cook, nothing. If you want to bring me breakfast, please do. But I just want the day to myself to do eat whatever, whether even if it was to clean the whole house, but by myself, to go out, to go for a walk, anything, just by myself.
Yeah.
Just to be alone, just to, you know,
Recharge.
It's
to
a
recharge,
yes, it's a chance to
hear the world around you, and just, you know, I honestly, that would be the best gift ever.
I get to cherish being a mom
Every day.
every other day. I mean, you know, it's, and I know they love me. And yes, the handmade cards,
Yes.
you know.
The mugs
It's-
with their pictures on them.
Yes.
Yes.
But you don't
I mean,
have to
it's-
go buy me a gift like my husband, you know, just take the kids for a day. You guys go enjoy the day together, spend some quality time, come back at night, and
Give mama a kiss goodnight.
yes, tomorrow we'll redo the whole mother thing and life will begin
exactly.
again.
Yeah, I was very fortunate that Nicholas always seems to be with his father on Mother's Day, so I would always have my day built in, and Brian would always be like, well, do you want Nicholas for the day? And I was like, no, it's my day. Let's try to work with this. I think now as Nicholas is getting older, and my love language is also quality time. And so for me right now, being able to just do something with him, whether again we go and grab something to eat together. You know, he is really into, you know, Qdoba, loves that. He loves PF Chang. So sometimes I think just, you know, going and just having lunch or dinner together is great.
And loving
My mother-in-law, or not my mother-in-law, my mother actually started a few years back, all of us, my sisters, my sister-in-law, my mother, my grandmother, we all and go have breakfast together on Mother's Day. It's amazing. So
That's a nice
always
tradition.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so amazing.
Yeah. And what about you?
Oh, what was the question? Mother's Day. Send me, let's see, Mother's Day. It's like Christmas for me. I really don't need it. I don't kind of like it, and I think that that's my own coping mechanism for still losing my mom. So I'm not quite over it. We'll never ever get over, you know, our loved ones. In the ideal world, I would love to be in Nebraska, and I'd love to be honoring her, right? I'd love to go to her grave and just sit with her and talk with her. So it's been a challenge moving out. But yeah, I just feel like, I told you y'all, she was like my bestie, right? Like it's hard to, I don't want to move past it quite yet, and I'm still in that hurt, and it's been, 11 years? So part of that is, I reflect it. I'm like, oh, you know what? It's just Mother's Day. I'll downplay it, right? Like, I'm like, I'll cook dinner. It's just Mother's Day. And Will's like, no, get out of the kitchen, right? Like, I'm trying to do something nice because he wants to give to me. And I'm like, reflect the love, because I don't want to feel the pain that I think that I still hold. But yeah, I want to talk strategies.
Okay.
Yeah, strategies for moms, busy moms, entrepreneur moms, since we've got all four of us, right? We're all boss babes and got kids. So what would be your biggest tip or strategy for just being the best version of you, do you think, that you'd give out to other moms?
Take care of yourself first. I think that's it's something that I actually had to learn because I also am a giver. Like, okay, yes, oh no, I'll wait until you guys are ready. I'll wait to, you know, get myself ready for the day, and then by the time it's like we're walking out of the house, my hair's thrown up in a ponytail, you know. But now I'm like, no, like I need to take care of myself, because if I can't be the best version of me, I can't take care of my kids. I can't be a loving wife. I'm gonna be angry all the time. So I think just giving yourself, like, it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to give yourself that time.
Yeah.
Moms deserve it.
They do.
We need it.
Moms are very important and they're up here. They really are. Dads are important, but moms are very important.
Quite honestly, the glue that's holding the family
they
together.
absolutely are. My niece, I do a lot. My husband works, and I, you know, take the kids to sports. We go to here and there. My niece's like, can I go with you? I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go. She's like, Aunt Steffi, I have to tell you, you're just amazing. Like, you take your kids everywhere. I'm like, it's hard, but I'm doing it. But I think just because I've step back and take care of myself.
Love that.
And I have to remind myself on a daily basis, take care of yourself.
Okay.
It is something, it's a constant reminder because you will fall back in that, okay, go. And then you're like, okay,
Take care of
whew, I'm overwhelmed now. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and if you don't catch it before, and I think that's what, I mean, I'm kind of just coming out of that where I think I had kind of just lost myself along the way and just, I hit a funk. I was fighting funky. I like to say I was fighting funky. I'm not in a funk because I am not giving in. I am not giving in to this funk. I am fighting it. You know, where it was just like, I'm like, what do I want to do? What do I, you know, like, I'm a mom, but what else? Like, I'm lost, you know.
You kind of hit that spot and feel like I'm failing at everything.
Yes.
Like, okay, the world needs to stop. It needs to stop.
Yeah.
But I think you have to recognize when you're not caring for yourself the proper way.
Yeah, and I think
Before
also
Your strategy too was
I absolutely agree with that. You gotta take care of yourself.
you gotta take care of yourself. And I think part of that too is showing our kids that we're more than just a one-dimensional object. You know, we need to be real with them and let them see us as people. You know, and let us see us as humans, because it's important that they see the other sides of us. So I think, you know, doing our hobbies. I have a friend of mine and she is a singer, and you know, that's what she said. She's like, I want my kids to see me living my hobbies and living my passions, so they don't see me as too one-dimensional.
Yes.
So I think that's really
Interesting.
important.
I read a book years ago that was called What Kids Need Most in a Mom, and lots of great points in there, but the one that stood out to me the most was your kids need to see you enjoy something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
They need to see you with a hobby.
Yeah.
And you need, you know, because absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I try
Right
to tell
on
my
that.
kids that Mom
So-
doesn't have to do this. I do it because I love you guys.
Exactly. Well, we could just be talking for hours and celebrating moms, but we are coming to the end. So in our last 1 minute, what's your strategy?
my last 1 minute strategy. I'm keeping it going, right?
Yeah.
Take care of your health, obviously, right? Like, so self-care for me is I gotta be healthy. I gotta be mentally strong, physically strong, financially strong. And I want to piggyback. You know, it's our jobs as moms to show our kids what love looks like. It's our jobs as moms to show our kids what passion looks like. These are things you're not taught in school, right? Like, they're taught to fit in the box, and it's our jobs as moms, I think, personally, to let them shine. Push them out, let them shine, let them find what it is they want, whether it's gaming for the rest of their life. But anyways, you guys, ladies, it's been a pleasure. It's been amazing to have you on the show. We have some gifts for you guys.
I know.
Thank you.
Go ahead and give each of you one
Thank
of those.
Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. And Claire and I, we want to thank you for watching and being such loyal fans of the Living Real TV talk show. We hope today that it really inspired you to take action and to take care of yourself. It looks like there's a common theme here. So we wish you all the abundance and joy and happiness and health. And please remember, you can catch every single episode on Motivation and Success TV, as well as livingrealtv.com. So in the meantime, keep living real.